Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. My name is Ana Camerar, and thank you for joining me today on this webinar. I'm really very excited to share my recent experience exploring the beautiful Mediterranean archipelago of Malta with you all. Over the next 20-25 minutes, I will take you through my 5 days journey across this fascinating destination packed with rich history, stunning landscapes, and incredible experiences that you can recommend to your clients with confidence. Before starting with my trip to Malta, let me briefly introduce emerging destinations and our portfolio of cool clients in cool places. In case any of you are not familiar with our company, Emerging Destinations is a sales and marketing representation company in US and Canada. Our headquarters is located in Atlanta, in Georgia, where Jane Barrett, the owner of the company, is based. And we are a team of 4 people traveling all across US and Canada to meet with travel advisors and tour operators. And we represent different hotels, lodges, camps, cruises, DMCs, and a few DMOs from Europe, Asia, Africa, and Central and South America. As you can see on your screen now, those are the different clients that we currently have in our portfolio. We will be having some additions in May. So please stay tuned as we are adding some cool clients in cool destinations very soon. But in case you have any questions, need digital material, or would love to schedule a call or a virtual meeting or training with any of these companies or destinations that we represent, please feel free to reach out to me after this webinar. You can see my email address at the bottom of the screen now. A few housekeeping notes to go over today's webinar. Just for you to know, this webinar is being recorded. So if you need to step away, answer the phone, or go for a cup of coffee or have lunch, don't worry about that. We are recording the webinar, and we will be sending you a follow-up email in the upcoming days, which will include this webinar recording as well as the presentation and some other useful marketing and sales materials from our today's destination and company, which is Malta and MiGlobal DMC. This webinar recording will be also included in our upcoming Europe and Asia newsletter. As you may know, we feature monthly newsletters, so we will include the recording on the upcoming newsletter as well, and we will be uploading this recording on our YouTube channel, Emerging Destinations, which I highly recommend you to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are uploading all the different webinars and training sessions we are constantly conducting with our clients in the portfolio. So it's a nice resource to have at the tip of the hand and also to spend a rainy weekend. You can watch the different presentations and trainings that we are doing every month. Last but not least, all attendees are mute, but we will be answering questions at the end of my presentation. Claudia Casar from MiGlobal DMC will be joining us for the Q&A. So please, if you have any questions, any doubts, please feel free to type those on the control panel on your right. And at the end of my presentation, I will be checking that control panel and will start asking Claudia all the different questions or doubts you may have typed on the control panel. Okay, so I think this is all on my side on the general aspect of the webinar itself. So now I invite you to see how was my journey in Malta last month. A quick overview of Malta. This small island nation sits just south of Sicily and consists of 3 inhabited islands: Malta, the main island, Gozo, and tiny Comino. Despite its compact size, Malta offers an extraordinary density of attractions, from UNESCO World Heritage Sites to crystal clear Mediterranean waters, prehistoric temples older than the pyramids, and a fascinating blend of cultures influenced by the many civilizations that have ruled these islands. You can sail Malta as a standalone destination or trip. I spent 5 days here, but you can stay as longer as you want. Or if you want to combine with any other destination, you can do Malta mainly with any other European destination. Of course, Italy and especially Sicily, I would say is #1. Sicily is only 1 hour and 45 minutes by ferry from Malta, and there are from 3 to 4 daily services. In my case, speaking about my trip last March, I combined Malta with the Italian Alps, the Trentino region, and I took a flight from Malta to Milano, which was around 2 hours. But other cities that you can consider to combine Malta with are Rome, Paris, Barcelona, Frankfurt, London are amazing European cities to think about, and they are located from 1 to up to 3 hours maximum flight from Malta. Let me guide you through my itinerary and highlight the key experiences that make Malta a perfect recommendation for various client profiles, whether they are history buffs, beach lovers, adventure seekers, or culinary enthusiasts. I began my journey in Valletta, which is Malta capital city and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Built by the Knights of St. John in the 16th century, Valletta is a perfect example of a planned Renaissance city sitting dramatically on a peninsula between 2 harbors. The Auberge de Castile sits at the top of the bastions overlooking Floriana and the Grand Harbor. The original building was built to house the knights from the language of Castile, Leon, and Portugal in around 1574. Then in the 1740s, Grandmaster Manuel Pinto da Fonseca decided the order needed something a little more flamboyant and had the building dismantled and rebuilt in the Spanish Baroque style. Since 1972, the Auberge de Castile has served as the office of the Prime Minister of Malta, and it is the administrative headquarters of the Maltese government. My first stop after the Auberge de Castile was St. John Co-Cathedral. While modest from the outside, stepping inside reveals an explosion of Baroque splendor. The cathedral houses Caravaggio's masterpiece, The Beheading of St. John, which is the artist's largest work and the only one that he signed. For your clients interested in art and architecture, this is an absolutely must-see. A short walk from the cathedral brought me to the Upper Baraka Gardens, offering breathtaking panoramic views of the Grand Harbor. This spot offers incredible photo opportunities and a moment to appreciate Malta's strategic position that made it so coveted throughout history. For lunch, Claudia Casar from MiGlobal DMC took me to one of her favorite places in Valletta, which is San Paolo Naufrago on the left of the screen, where we enjoy local specialties. It is a great and picturesque option for either lunch and dinner. The food in Malta reflects its position at the crossroads of Mediterranean cultures, with influences from Italy, North Africa, and beyond. During my days in Malta, I stayed at the Westin Dragonara Resort, an amazing 5-star international hotel located in St. Julian neighborhood, a young area known for its modern buildings and vibrant nightlife. However, it's a good idea to consider also staying in Valletta. There are a lot of historical palazzos that were converting in 4- and 5-star small hotels full of history, and they offer a really authentic experience. Valletta, the city, is compact and walkable, making it perfect for those who want to be immersed in history while enjoying modern amenities. On my second day, I crossed the Grand Harbor by traditional water taxi or daxa to explore the 3 cities of Vitoriosa, St. Clea, and Copisqua. These cities offer an authentic glimpse into Maltese life away from the main tourist areas. Vitoriosa, also known as Virgu, was the first home of the Knights of St. John when they arrived in 1530. I wandered the narrow medieval streets, visited the Inquisitor Palace, and explored Port St. Angelo, which offered spectacular views back across to Valletta. The observation deck at the tip of St. Clea, known as Il Gargiola, offer one of the best views of Valletta's fortification, the picture on the left. For clients interested in photography, history, or simply off the beaten path, the 3 cities really deserve at least half a day. My third day took me to the Blue Grotto, a series of sea caverns on Malta's southern coast. Weather conditions permitting, you can take a boat tour through these stunning natural formations where the Mediterranean sunlight creates an otherworldly blue reflection throughout the caves. The best time to visit is morning when the light is most vibrant. Unfortunately, the day I went to this south area of Malta, it was super windy and the sea and waters were really very rough. So the boats weren't allowed to navigate and offer this tour. However, I was able to admire the landscapes from top of the rock formations and take this amazing picture that you can see on your screen now. Close to Blue Grotto is Widisuriek, or something like that. You can see it on the slide. Here you will find a spectacular lookout point called Sutu Tower. It was built in 1647 as one of the first coastal watchtowers in Malta, serving as the prototype for the 13 others built around the island. During the Second World War, the tower was used as a coastal observation post and was manned by the coast police. It was used as a police station until the year 2002. Then I visited the colorful fishing village of Marsaxlokk, famous for its traditional painted fishing boats called Lutsu and Sunday fish market. Even though I wasn't there on market day, the seafood restaurants lining the harbor served the fresh catch of the day, and the colorful boats made for wonderful photos. For seafood lovers, recommend a Sunday visit to Marsaxlokk when the fish market is in full swing. Day 4 was dedicated to exploring Gozo, Malta's sister island. Just a 25 minutes ferry ride from Malta, Gozo has a distinctly different character, more rural, more relaxed, with rolling hills, charming villages, and a spectacular coastal scenery. My first stop was Victoria, also called Rabat, Gozo's capital, dominated by the impressive citadel. This fortified medieval city offers 360-degree views of the entire island. Inside, the Gozo Cathedral and various monuments showcase the island history and culture. The narrow streets within the citadel walls are perfect for wandering and photography. From Victoria, the citadel, I headed to Duedra Bay on the western coast of Gozo. This area was once home to the famous Azure Window, a natural stone arch that collapsed in 2017 during a storm. Despite this loss, the area remains spectacular with the inland sea, a lagoon, connected to the Mediterranean through a natural tunnel, and the Blue Hole, a prime diving spot. In the afternoon, I visited the Gigantea temples, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. Even older than the temples on the main island of Malta, dating back to 3600 BC, they are named for the giant stones used in their construction, some of them weighing up to 50 tons. The complexity of these structures built with primitive tools is truly mind-boggling. Circular holes, as you can see on the right, cutting through the stone, are visible in some of the large floor slabs, often close to doorways. It is not clear what these holes were used for. While Gozo can be visited as a day trip, I would strongly recommend suggesting a 1 or 2 night stay for clients who value peace and authenticity. The rhythm of life is slower here, and the island has some excellent rural farmhouses and boutique hotels offering a unique experience. For active clients, Gozo offers excellent hiking, cycling, and diving opportunities. The picture that you can see in the center of this slide, for example, just to give you an idea on how special it's Gozo, is the narrowest street in the island. My final day took me to Medina, Malta's ancient capital, known as the Silent City. Perched on a hilltop in the center of the island, this medieval walled city allows no cars except for residents and has remained virtually unchanged for centuries. Game of Thrones fans might recognize it as a filming location for King's Landing in season 1. Walking through Medina's narrow, winding streets feels like stepping back in time. The noble palazzos, many still privately owned, showcase impressive architecture. St. Paul Cathedral and its museum really worth a visit. For food lovers, I recommend having lunch at Fontanella Tea Garden, famous for its chocolate cake and stunning panoramic views over the island. Or follow my steps and either have lunch or dinner at the Sara Palace, a Reliant Chateau Palazzo converted into a luxury small hotel. It has 2 restaurants. One of them is a Michelin star restaurant, and a third option called Trattoria, more casual, with the option to have an outdoor seating where I had dinner with Douglas and Claudia from MiGlobal DMC, my host during my 5-day trips to Malta. My conclusion is that Malta works particularly well for history and culture enthusiasts, couples seeking romantic settings, families, especially with older children interested in history or water activities, diving enthusiasts. Malta has some of the best diving in the Mediterranean, and travelers looking to combine beach time with cultural experiences. I hope this virtual journey through Malta has inspired you to recommend this gem of the Mediterranean to your clients. I'm happy to answer any specific questions now, and I have the honor to have Claudia Casar from MiGlobal DMC connected with us today. Are you there, Claudia?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Thank you for the lovely presentation, Anna. I enjoyed listening to you. The way you described more. I did.
Awesome, thank you. So let me check the control panel. So we can start answering our clients' questions. So the first we have from Kimberly. What are the temperatures from December to March?
So Malta's climate is very mild. We're at the southern tip. We're quite south, down south in the Mediterranean. So it would be around 15 degrees Celsius, which would be, I believe, somewhere around 70 Fahrenheit. That is more or less our winter period. We get our first rain around January, but other than that, it's very, very pleasant. You can have a bit of rain, but a lot of sunshine. So it's still very nice for trekking, sometimes kayaking. So you can still do a lot. The temperatures here don't get very cold.
Awesome, thank you. And I remember, Claudia, from your first webinar training session about Malta, that you mentioned that the island is known for having around 300 days of a year, plenty of sun, right?
Yes. No, we're very blessed when it comes to that.
Awesome. Then we have another question here. Are there any beach resort areas?
Yes, so most of the southern part of the island and the west coast of the island, they are rocky. But even though they are rocky, they're still pleasant to swim with easy access to the sea. Then further north, you have the sandy beaches. And that is mainly where you have Golden Bay. And there's a nice property there. There's a 5-star hotel sitting right onto the beach. And you have more sandy beaches towards Malleha. And again, there you have quite a few 4-star properties sitting on the beach.
Okay, and I remember the hotel I stayed, which is the Westin Dragonara, they have access to the private beach as well.
That's right. So most of the properties, even though it's a rocky beach, they have easy access to the beach. And most of the properties have their own private beach, exactly, Anna, with the possibility of having boat rides leaving directly from the hotel as well.
Awesome. Another question that we have from Jenny, who is actually working already with your company on a client honeymoon. So thank you for the business, Jenny. Is there a special meal or food that Malta specializes in?
So the influence when it comes to food is very much like southern Italy. We have our own dishes, like typical dishes, which is one of the typical dishes is rabbit. But then we also get a lot of influence from the south of Italy. So here, the most famous dish, I would say, is fish. Fish, a lot of olive oil, a lot of citrus fruits. Yes, very southern Italy, I would say, in terms of cuisine.
Awesome. Lori is asking us if someone wants to stay for 10 to 14 days, could you suggest staying in Valletta or somewhere else?
So it depends the time of the year and what your customer is after. If they're after a kind of resort kind of property, then I would propose somewhere else, not Valletta. Valletta, you have these sweet boutique properties, all very old palazzos going back to the 17th century, which have been beautifully restored. They have the facilities, but they're more of, I would say, winter destinations. So, for example, when we have customers visiting Malta anytime between November to March, they would look at Valletta. Then from April onwards, it becomes very much our summer season. And in that case, everything moves more towards the resort part of the island. And that is close to St. Julian's and the northern part of the island where you have St. Paul's Bay.
Awesome. Have you worked as a DMC in the past with the Phoenicia Hotel? Claudia, we have someone asking about that.
We did, yes. It's a beautiful property. It's an iconic building. It's just at the entrance of the capital city. And we had individual guests staying there and also small groups.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. And then we have another question here from Helen. Are there any quality hotels in Senglea or Birgu in the 3 cities?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, Anna and myself visited a really nice property.
I remember that one.
So most of the hotels up to a few years ago we used to go for the St. Julian's area. Then Valletta took off, and lots of business moved towards Valletta. But now a really nice area of Malta is the 3 Cities area. And again, the 3 Cities area is even older than Valletta. So Valletta was built in the 1530s. The 3 Cities, you have a medieval part of it. That is where the Knights of St. John were based while building Valletta. And in that area have some really nice properties sitting on the harbor, all UNESCO heritage sites, and enjoying these amazing views. You get hotels of around 14, 15 rooms, very, very well finished, and some of them also with a beautiful rooftop where you can have a pool and enjoy the views.
Awesome.
In case you need any suggestions or anything, please feel free to email us and we can send you a couple of suggestions in that area.
Awesome, awesome. And then I have a question that I really don't know the answer, so maybe you can help, Claudia, because I don't remember seeing that hotel. Have you ever worked in the past with the Vivaldi Hotel? Where is that located?
Yes, so the Vivaldi is located coincidentally opposite the Westin. It's a 4-star property. It's been there for some time, so it depends what your customer is after. But yes, it's been there for some time. So
okay, so it's in St. Julian neighborhood.
It's in the St. Julian's neighborhood. It's mainly inland. They do have some rooms with the sea view, but the majority of the rooms are inland view.
Okay. Okay. And then I think it's the last question we are getting here at the control panel. Is Kisisana a good location for tourists in Silema in the 3 cities?
Yes, definitely. So Kisisana is an area in Slima. So this Slima, most of the properties there are on the promenade. The same promenade links you to the St. Julian's area towards the north, and the south of the promenade links you towards Valletta. And Kisisana sits right in between. So it's a great area. There are some really good properties as well in that area. And you have easy access, even if you want to take a boat or transfers. You're very close to Slima, you're very close to Mdina. So yes, definitely, it's a great location.
So sorry, I did a mistake when asking the question. I confused Slima in the 3 cities with the Senglea. Slima is not in the 3 cities; it's in the main island. It's
exactly. So Slima is well not far away from the 3 cities, opposite. It's about a 20-minute drive.
Okay. Okay. And where is the Hilton DoubleTree Hotel? Is that in St. Julian as well? I don't remember seeing that one.
Paul's Island. That is in St. Paul's Island. Sorry, St. Paul's, which is a little bit further north from Valletta. It's a hotel which before was an independent hotel. Now Hilton took it over, and they did a whole revamp. So again, they're opening a nice beach club. It's a good property. It's a good 4-star property.
Okay. Okay, awesome. And then the last question we have from Florence. What are the countries that Malta and Gozo be paired with for a longer trip in the Mediterranean?
Definitely Sicily. And it is so great, Sicily, because now there are also Delta is flying from certain ports in the US straight into Sicily. So that is very good for us as well, because then you just need to take a 25-minute flight, or as Anna mentioned earlier, you can literally take a ferry from the furthest tip of Sicily to Malta. So that is a great combination. If you're looking at a city, Rome is just an hour away, Milan is 2 hours away, Paris is 2 hours away as well. So plenty of choices. We're very close to all the major European cities with great connections.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Claudia. Before wrapping up, I would like to take the opportunity of having you connected here just to give everybody a brief overview of the rebranding of the company, because some of you, if you are following our webinars or our newsletters, or if you have visited our website in the past, you might be seeing My Malta DMC, and now it's changing the logo and it's changing the name from My Malta to MiGlobal DMC. So Claudia, not sure if you want to explain our travel advisors connected here, which are the services that you can provide in Malta and which other services you can provide as MiGlobal DMC.
Sure. So the company has been operating for around almost 20 years. We have quite an amount of repeat clients, which we're very, very proud of. And the reason that we changed, it was time to rebrand after so many years. Customers that have been with us for many years, and mainly on the group side, like to take us with them when they travel as well, because they feel very secure of how we organize the programs. And that is one of the reasons why we are global. But Malta is our baby. I am Maltese. Most of my colleagues are Maltese. We love this island. So we mainly do incoming into Malta. Then we have some local clients here as well that ask us to take them overseas. So that's the reason why we're global, but we are based here. We have a team of around 15 people actively working on the operations side. So you will be well taken care of if you decide to work with us in Malta. And if we can help you with any other destination, then please feel free. But mainly what we do in the other destinations are groups, like, for example, Sicily, because it is so close to us. It's very easy for us to operate over there as well.
Awesome, thank you. So basically, Malta, you do FITs and groups, and other destinations, you can do groups.
Correct, correct.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Claudia. So just to wrap up today's webinar, as I was mentioning at the beginning, we were recording this webinar, and in the upcoming days, we will be sending a follow-up email, which will include this recording, the presentation, Claudia Casar contact information in case you need anything from her, or you have any booking requests. I hope so. So you can be in touch with her. And we will also include some sample itineraries and some ideas, but please keep in mind that they customize and tailor-made absolutely everything. So every client is really unique for them. But if you need some ideas on what they can do or what to offer to your clients, of course, we can share with you some sample itineraries. So this is all on my side, and I will give you, Claudia, the last few minutes for you to wrap up and say goodbye to everybody.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for logging in as well. What you need to keep in mind with Malta, something I always say, if you have those clients that have been traveling, they've experienced most of the European destinations, and you want to sell something to them unique, which a lot don't know about, Malta comes in very well. You can put your mind at rest when it comes to cuisine, the level of service that you will receive around the island. I say hospitality is one of our key points here. The island has been depending on hospitality tourism for many years. We have a government that supports the tourism industry as well. So it makes us very easy for us to operate here. And besides everything else, it's a very safe country. So whenever we can help, please reach out. We're here for you. And we're here to make you and your customers happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.